What's up, everybody? It's Connor from Unscripted, back again with another video. In today's video, we are talking about yesterday's CDL matches, and as always, we will be doing things off the script. Before we hop into the video, two things. Don't forget to leave a like down below if you enjoy, especially a comment. I'd really appreciate a comment on this video. Let me know what you think about the matches. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are enjoying the CDL content and looking for more of it. And also, my schedule's a little bit off today. Yesterday, usually I would make these recap videos the day of. Like I would have made it last night, but I wasn't able to last night, and I won't be able to tonight either. So if I have a recap video for today's matches, it will not be till tomorrow morning. So just so everybody knows, be on the lookout for that. That will be up. Should be up. I'll have a video up in some capacity tomorrow morning, and then I'll have one tomorrow night too. But anyway, that's the updates. Just a little bit different schedule than usual, and let's hop right into the video. So, kicking things off yesterday, we had the Toronto Ultra versus the LA Gorillas, two teams that technically were undefeated. I think LA was 1-1 or 1-0, and Toronto was 2-0. Toronto, the defending champs from the last major, looking very solid. They were 6-0 in map count entering this series, and it did not get much worse for them. So we kicked things off. They won the hard point. It was very close, 250 to 247, I think, on Apocalypse. Couldn't get much closer than that, and then the next map was the same. So Toronto goes up 1-0 on a very, very close map. Move over to the Express S&D, and Insight goes clutch in the 1v2 in round 11. I'll put it so you can actually see it. See, it's Insight versus Chino and Assault, and he's able to take down Assault, reload his gun, gather everything, and then ends up taking down Chino for the 1v2 clutch. So, I mean, Insight has just been phenomenal this year ever since he came onto the Toronto roster. Easily the Rookie of the Year right now, not even close. He has been great, and their team as a whole in search and in all modes has clearly benefited from him being in the roster. As much as we might like methods, the improvement has been very obvious. Here are the stats from that search and destroy. So Assault went big. I mean, Assault's playing really well. Good for him. I know there for a while I was on the train. A lot of people were on the train that Assault was one of the worst players overall in the CDL. He has been playing much better right now. I think he's still one of the bottom ARs, but that's main ARs, but that's also just more so because of how good the main ARs are. But just in general, he has been much more respectable. He's been solid for this team, and that's good to see because he was doing pretty bad there for a while. So he's turning things around. Kleenex on the other side, 11-7, leading the way in damage for Toronto in the search. So again, another really close map. Even though it was 2-0 Toronto, they were about as close as they could get. But then finally, they do end up getting a dominant win, and they win the raid control 3-0 to take the series 3-0. Here are the series stats. Let's see, make sure you can see them. You can. I'll just scroll down a little bit. So everybody in the green for Toronto, that is what you like to see from your team. Cammy went big this series with a 1.47 overall. Kleenex not far behind him with a 1.27, but everybody positive. And then on the side of LAG, Assault played well and nobody else did. I mean, look at that sub duo. It's a shame they don't have a sub who can maybe put some pressure on the map and turn up the pace a little bit, right? Dropped Vivid, and they have Silly on the sub. And I know, it's as you'll see from him in a minute, it's early for him, but not a good start for him on the sub. 0.54 today. Apathy not too far ahead at the 0.68. Chino didn't play terrible, but yeah, that's their sub duo. They might have the worst sub duo in the league right now. And I mean, what do? You take Silly off an AR who was, other than Vivid, Silly was their next best player this year when he was running the AR, and they switch him to a sub, and it's clearly not working for him yet. And there's still time for him to turn it around. He is a veteran of the scene. He's a very smart player. He might be able to turn it around, but so far he clearly is not comfortable in that role. Here you see what he says. He says, GG's to Toronto, blew the first two maps and waited an hour to get 3-0 to control. On to the next one, which is today. And then he says, also, first week using a sub. People on Twitter are awful humans yet again. Sheesh. So I'm sure he's getting a lot of hate for that 0.54 he dropped in the series, which whatever. I'm not going to throw hate on the guy, and like a lot of people like to do. It's just clearly they had an SMG who was allowing them to put pressure on the map. They benched him for what I assume was pacing issues. And I mean, I don't care if you're playing on pace with your teammates. If you're dropping a 0.54, that's not beneficial. It doesn't matter how. If you play the exact same pace everybody else is. Everybody plays the same pace and they drop a team KD of a 0.8 in a series. I don't care what their pacing is. They are not going to win. That's how I feel about that. But, I mean, we'll see how it goes. They definitely still look a little bit better than they have previously. So, we will see if they can keep improving when they play today. Cammy says, GG's LAG. We won 3-0 and currently are 3-0 in groups without dropping a map. That's pretty impressive stuff from them. They now 3-0 Dallas, Florida, and LAG. So, definitely in the weaker of the two groups. That's beneficial for them. And looking at their remaining schedule, which we will do in a minute, they have a chance to sweep the entire group stage. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it because, I mean, they're probably going to drop a map at some point. It's pretty hard to win every single map in this league, no matter how bad your opponents are, but they have a good shot to do it. I mean, we'll see in a minute who they play. It's looking good for them. And the big takeaway from this was, unfortunately, again, server issues in the CDL. It feels like it happens every single week. Longest 3-0 ever, as Crone says, with Cammy as the player of the match. The servers are horrible. I mean, there was almost an hour between the search and the control. I don't know what happened. I couldn't watch the matches live. I had to watch them back, and I was just skipping between, the matches, so I wasn't seeing what they were saying about what was going on. But I just can't believe I had notifications turned on my phone of what the map results were, and I was like, okay, it's been a while since the search ended. I wonder what's going on, and I thought maybe the tweet just didn't go out. Didn't think anything of it. And then the tweet finally goes out like an hour later and saying about finally we get to play. And I was thinking, what the heck happened? I figured it was server issues. That's what it was. It's just insane how the servers have been such a problem this year. They need land back bad. As much as they might not want to say it, or as much as they might not want to do it, they really need it. The players obviously want it, and the server issues have just been such a bad viewing experience for viewers. I know it was last week at the London home series. There was like 3 or 4 series in a row over the course of 2 days that were just something happened. Someone lagged out. They had to restart the map. They had to restart because someone couldn't get in. They had to wait a while to get everybody situated. It's been awful recently, quite frankly, and I just hope they can get it straightened out. But really, I just hope they can get back to land because the viewership experience would be much better for sure. CDL meme says less meme events. By the way, players disconnecting. Got pulled up. Players disconnecting or laggy stream. The CDL can't decide which one they want. I mean. And remember, like he said, when he says less LAN events, by the way, he means the thing Activision put out about looking to have less LAN events in the future with the CWL. So that's that, and we see how that's going so far. Anyway, moving over to Paris versus Rocker. Paris in desperate need of a win. They are really, really struggling right now. They come out firing. They win the checkmate hardpoint, pretty convincingly, 250-169. Everybody on Rocker negative. Paris, everybody but Scraps positive. So pretty good start for them. They were trending up a little bit to start this series. They do come out and they lose the search 6-2 in Miami. Temp with the 1.33. Nobody else really did much of anything. On the other side, pretty solid game from Priest and Attach and Accuracy. Everybody stepping up there. Here's a big 3-piece, I believe, from Accuracy. So that it's going to take a while. I'll skip through it. I missed the first one. There we go. So he picks up one, picks up Scraps, he goes and picks up Classic. It's a 1v1 now with Aqua. A little bit of running around, checking for each other. Aqua needs to get the bomb down, and he's not going to get to it because Accuracy takes him down. So a big clutch up there from the Iceman. Another 3v, not a 3v1, but a 3-piece to get the round win for his team. And this was the big domination. Garrison control. 3-0 for Rocker, and just look at the stats in this one. The highest KD on Paris was a 0.8. Classic with a 0.47, Aqua 0.63, Scraps 0.67. They were outslayed by a combined 21 kills over 3 rounds. On the Minnesota side of things, Stanley plus 14, 24 and 10, 3,300 damage over 3 rounds. Accuracy 12 and 8, Priest 3 and 13 and 10, Attached 9-9. Like, look how small those kills are because Stanley stole all of them. He had almost as many kills as the next 2 guys combined, 24, then Accuracy and Priest combined for 25. So really, really big map for Stanley. You see him weigh in on Twitter here. He says the team on Garrison control today, like they were just artists painting a beautiful picture. That was, I mean, just absolute domination. You're not going to see many controls that lopsided, but I guess Garrison's one of those maps where the spawn traps can get really bad, and you can get outslayed in a hurry, and that's what happened to Paris. They just got smoked. They go down 2-1. They eventually lose the hard point to drop the series 3-1. Here are the stats. Everybody for Paris in the red. I mean, terrible. I feel for Paris. To start the year, I thought they were going to be bad. I had them at the bottom of my power rankings, towards the bottom, not dead last, but they ended up turning things around. I was like, okay, I see how this team has some potential. Scraps has been playing phenomenal. Classic and Aqua were playing really well. Fire was holding them back a little bit, but they were still like a middle caliber team in my opinion. They replaced Fire with Temp. Didn't really like the move. I kind of thought it was like a lateral move, and they've just been bad since. And not just because of that change. They've been bad. Just everybody's been worse, it seems. I'm not sure what the deal is, but they at this point, there's no way they're going to make champs, so it's going to be an unfortunate end to their season when it comes to that point. But I really feel for them because there for a while they were, I thought, a sleeper team, and it has just all sort of fallen apart for them. Minnesota side of things, everybody positive. Good, pretty good as a series for them, but I think Paris is easily dead last in the power rankings right now, so it's almost like whatever is done against them has to be taken with a grain of salt because they're just that bad right now. I mean, I hate to be so blunt, but that's the way it is. Going over to, I believe, Crone. Yep, here are the standings. Player of the match with that 2.4 control KD. That really boosted his overall series KD to a 1.2. Good stuff for him. Big 3-1 for Minnesota. Parasite says Paris got the OD pacing issues. I don't know what OD means, but definitely I thought Scraps was running an SMG in this one and Temp was running an AR, and I don't really think I like that. I know Scraps said he likes running the SMG again, but I think personally Scraps should have been kept in the AR. He was playing really solid this year. He was easily their best player when he was running that AR. He was pretty consistent. You know, he was always seemed to have over 1 KD even when everybody on his team was negative by a lot. They switch him to the SMG. They put Temp on the AR. I don't really like that move at all. I think if they should have just never brought Temp in the first place at that rate because Scrap should not be being replaced on an SMG or with an AR for an SMG. So if you don't like Temp on the sub, you should have got a different sub. I mean, I was saying that from the beginning. I would have gotten Saints or just anybody, any of those top challengers SMGs, but instead they got Temp. Now they're going to change Scrap's role and to accommodate Temp, but I don't like that one bit. Yeah, Classic, he plays a little bit fast. Aqua might play a little slower. I think Scraps is probably on the slower side for an SMG, but for an AR, he's fine. But pairing him with Classic, it does seem like it could cause some pacing issues, and it has, and it will continue to do so if they don't change some things up. Like I said, I would have liked to see a different SMG picked up in the first place. That's not the route they went, and now they deal with the results, and you see the results are not very good. Okay, so here are the final standings, or the standings as of now. Toronto on top of their group 3-0, Optic 2-0 on their side. Like I was saying earlier, Toronto has Minnesota and Paris left, so Paris feels like it's probably going to be a 3-0 sweep. Maybe not, but who knows. And then Minnesota could probably take a map off of them, but there's a decent chance they could go 15-0 through in their map count throughout the group stage, which would be awesome. That would be unprecedented, I think. So we'll see how it goes. And on the other side of things, it's kind of like a cluster like we expected. Group B definitely the stronger group so far, and we will see things shake out a little bit better over the course of the next 2 days. And finally, here are today's matches that I will hopefully be recapping tomorrow. FaZe versus London. I don't think there's much to see there. Should be a FaZe win. Empire versus Gorillas is probably pretty interesting right now because Empire's search struggles are real. LAG really good at search. We'll see how that one goes. Dallas will have the spotlight on them with their roster change. It has not worked so far, but we'll see if it does today. And New York versus Surge might be a good one with New York looking kind of poor against London. Surge looking a little better lately, but I still probably favor New York in that one. We will see how it goes. So that's going to wrap up this really long video. Sorry it got so long. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like down below, a comment as well with your thoughts on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are enjoying the content. I appreciate it all. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.